First off, what's up? This is the All or Nothing show. It's been a minute. It's been 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks. Power was out last week.
It was.
Yeah.
So we had a...
People are just dying for a new show.
We just wrote the All or Nothing show in
yeah.
our diary. That was the
We
analog
did.
version.
Yeah.
Griffin, thank you for the Ghost Bubblicious Strawberry Splash.
Cheers.
I'm going Lone Wolf 3D.
Yep.
Touch tips.
Smells like bubble gum.
I've had
tastes
that
like
one,
bubble
so I
gum.
can still comment on the taste. But
First thoughts?
For strawberry, I like it. I typically don't like a strawberry drink because they're too weird, but that bubble gum finish gives it a good. For me,
It's
I like
nice pairing.
it.
I
Cream?
thought
Is it
when
cream? Creamy? No. It's like a cream finish.
I thought when I had it, it was pretty smooth, and it wasn't overly sweet like I
No.
thought it'd be. And oh fuck, what was I gonna say about it? Oh yeah, no, it's back. It's back.
All right.
Was that I think halfway through the can, y'all can tell me because I haven't had a full can of it. I feel like I'd get sick of it though, a little bit, just by the end.
It's a flavor. It's strong. It's a strong flavor.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
And I don't think I'd hit them back to back to back, but I think it's something I'd maybe, if it was clear or close to me, I would go maybe scoop it up.
Yeah, I do feel like a lot of the ghosts, though, kind of have that effect of about halfway through the can, you're just like...
There's few energy drinks overall that I feel like I could get a 12-pack comfortably
What's that?
of a certain flavor.
Oh, Rays. I like all the Rays.
Yeah.
I could do a 12-pack of almost any flavor.
And it's
Really?
funny, too, because...
And I'm not sucking dick.
Yes,
some
you are.
flavors are good, but some flavors you don't like as much, but you could drink them every day.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm a little disappointed that our partnership with Rays isn't as tight knit.
Well,
I'd like to try the white peach, the rainbow, and there was one other flavor I feel like we haven't tried those.
yeah,
There was that
Austin,
limited one.
he messaged me because I commented something on a story, and it was unrelated to drinks, and he texted me back, and he was like, "Yo,
What if he's like, I'll send you a case, but Brian
well,
can't
that's
have
right. He said he
shit."
was gonna send. He's gonna send. I'm gonna send y'all. Y'all might not be
Oh
Brock.
fuck!
Might be me and Griffin.
I'm out.
Is that who sent you the Iron Rebel stuff, too?
No, that was a different guy, Caleb. I think he's either like a manager or like a sales position of Iron Rebel, but he's
That
out in
dude?
Kansas. Yes, your bench out there did that to it.
No.
Yep.
No.
So Iron Built, I'll be sending on
Oh,
invoice.
shit. And
See
for reference,
Team
I'm talking
iPhone
about a
now?
crack on his phone screen.
Yeah, hold on.
I
see if
told
you
him
can
he
see
was
it.
one. He's so close to going full boomer with the leather flip around case. He just needs the clip on the belt.
Yeah. Actually, the leather, I was thinking about replacing my phone case.
Hey, Bill.
I was either going
Barrel.
to do leather or
Yeah.
walnut.
But you would. That's fine. But you wouldn't get the cover though.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that
Well-
covers the camera.
Yeah.
It does.
You just
and
need the holster.
Now, looking back on it after I got it, I realized how inefficient it is. I thought I was going to use my cards and not
Yeah.
get rid of my wallet.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, what if my cards fall out of that?
You know what? What's a telltale sign of a boomer too is if you have a wallet where your ID is in one of those plastic covers on the inside of a
Oh, that's me.
bifold. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's me.
yeah. If it's in one of those, and the
Yeah.
wallet's probably like a trifold that's thick as shit.
No, I got a bifold.
Okay, I have a bifold too. Yeah.
Yeah, trifold's been out since the 90s.
But you come in though, and Maddie's stepdad's like one of these guys. The 30-year-old millennial or kind of hip 40-year-old that has one of those single wallets that's only held by an elastic band, and it's got titanium plates
That's
on each
too
side. You know what I
that's
mean?
scary.
I think
yeah.
Ridge wallet is one of them, but there's a bunch of them. Oh, let me just pop out my 90 cards in this one thing and pull it out.
Yeah.
I feel like those hip dads try and pull that off. But
You know what I'm tempted to bring back?
My dad used to have the money clip.
That's dope.
Oh.
It's efficient and minimal.
Yeah.
I like that. But I still have for some reason I feel like I need to collect it. Sometimes it's receipts, sometimes it's a bill or whatever, just to look back at and see how much I spent over the weekend or a trip or whatever. So I feel like I need more than just a clip.
Yeah.
I need more than just the little rubber band thing. And I'm thinking about bringing it back because it should be more so functional.
Ziploc bag.
Fanny pack.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
no.
do fanny pack.
No.
Especially with the short shorts because they don't have pockets.
You can put it in the back.
I
You
feel
can
like
whip
you
it around, wear it up front.
ironically, but You can't pull that off.
You know, Supreme makes
GYMFLO. Yeah, GYMFLO's coming out.
I will say though, for some reason, there's certain articles of clothing or things that cater more towards certain demographics, and I will say, it seems like African Americans can pull off fanny packs more than Caucasians.
Oh,
I say.
Interesting.
Hot take.
Interesting.
I don't think we can pull it off.
What about we? Who's we?
Listen
Who's
here,
we?
pal. Yeah.
Y'all people. What do you mean, y'all people?
Who's we?
Yeah.
But I think I can.
Maybe they're more willing to do it.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't Austin have some of his 23andMe? He's got
Sub-Saharan
We both need
Nigerian.
to get tested. There's
Oh, no.
something in the water.
I'm definitely.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely have some. Ain't you?
Yeah.
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 Grandma.
Waist down.
God, that's what I said. It's in my third leg, but you know.
Yeah, it's all.
I got it.
Yeah, it's selective area. Yeah.
But yeah, so getting back to tetanus, guys, it's been a minute. I've been out at the Creek House. I feel like I mentioned that at a show previously. Yeah. And we've been doing a lot of work on it over the past.
Going up every day.
Yeah, almost like at least on the weekends every single day, and then maybe once during the week just to try and get in a few hours of whatever. But I was out cleaning out a bunch of brush, bunch of trees and shit have been falling down in the front of this yard facing the creek. So we're trying to clean out all the brush so we can get the creek opened up and get the view going. And, you know, it's something we can definitely focus on right now before we get a roof put on, because I don't want to start messing with the inside of the house when they're going to be, you know, ripping and tearing a lot of stuff in the house. So we've been focused on the outside. And I was walking down. This was like after 3 or 4 hours already working, dripping sweat, tired, and just trying to hustle and get shit done. And I'm carrying a chainsaw, and I walk down near the pier at the bottom of the hill, and there's leaves everywhere, so everything's brown. You know, you can't tell what you're stepping on, just tree branches and shit. And I'm stepping pretty quick because I'm trying to get out to this tree. And I take a step with my right foot and immediately with my left, and then I feel like something jumped up and bit me and my right foot. I mean, crazy, the weirdest sensation of a nail going into your foot. You know, it's a weird feeling because it's on the inside. It's not just like your skin. It was like deep, like,
It's in.
It's in, yeah. It's more than the tip.
I was surprised you were just in tennis shoes, too, honestly.
Yeah, well, I didn't think I was going to be stepping on just random nails out in the woods.
I feel like Austin owns like 2 pairs of shoes. He's got the beat the shit
ones.
Adidas,
Yes.
and then he's got the Converse that I feel like are so crusty from sweat.
Yes.
Oh,
They
he's got
don't
boots
even-
over there.
Yeah.
Camo.
Working boots.
Yeah. Well, Kathy.
Oh.
I bet those are brand new.
No. So I found these. No.
Yeah.
Well, if she did, I told her no. Don't even give me these because these are her son Noah's. But she said,
"Fuck you, son."
Yeah, she's like,
"Yeah, my real
here's my
son's
favorite
over at the
son."
gym."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin.
No, you never call your mother.
Yeah. But they're a little snug. They're 11s.
Oh.
And I wear 12 usually with shoes. Big foot.
Yeah.
And
Spotted.
and my toes are like right at the end, so I don't know if I'd be able to wear them for like a certain amount of hours before my feet would probably be killing me. But I feel like it would protect me for some bullshit out in the woods, though.
Yeah.
But yes, the nail definitely went at least 2 inches into my foot. I feel like if I wasn't wearing shoes, it would have definitely went in and out of my foot.
Oh.
That's how long it was. Definitely like three knuckles long, and
What a
nice and
Sarah
rusty.
do.
Oh, she wasn't there, so it was just me and my
Did
mom.
you put alcohol in that to try and disinfect it?
Yeah, there was a first aid kit in the house from like 1972.
Yeah.
It's old as shit. Like everything was like dry rotting on the inside of
Yeah,
it.
it could have been pretty bad.
Did
Yeah.
you keep working after?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I didn't like. I wasn't gonna go to the hospital.
I told him, what would Goggins do? And he
Yeah.
just went right back at
Yeah,
it.
that's right.
WWGD.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went up to the house real quick because I was like, man, I'm on blood thinners, and of course my foot was pouring blood out. I was like, what the fuck, man? And I didn't want to go to the hospital because I was like, they're gonna like, it's gonna be a whole spiel. My day will be done.
They're going to ask me if I'm on creatine.
Yeah, right.
It's just going to be a whole thing.
And I've been vaxxed and all this shit. Let's go ahead and get that while you're here.
Yeah.
But anyways, walked up the hill and I was like, you know what? Let me try and bandage it up, put like some tight shit around it. And my mom rubbed some alcohol in it for me because I could barely reach it. My mobility sucks. And
Mama.
yeah, mom.
Please.
And she put some pads on it, some Neosporin, wrapped that bitch up, and I probably did another 2 hours of work. I will say I paid the price for that though, because at first the immediate jolt of the nail going in, yes, hurt like a motherfucker. Definitely didn't say nice words, especially around my mom. Yeah. Lots of F-bombs, pussy, and C-word. I was calling that nail everything under the sun.
Typical Austin.
Yeah, those are like the terminology is pretty short.
P, C, and F. Yeah. Those three I like to combine. You use your imagination. Yeah. Use your imagination. But I worked on it a few more hours after that. When I went home, man, that thing throbbed. And it's like there's different pain. Like if you cut yourself on your skin, you get like it hurts.
Yeah.
But like something deep on the inside, like if you maybe tore a muscle or sprained a muscle, but like a little worse, like that deep ache throb. Like if your foot could have a heart attack.
How deep do you think it went?
Like at least probably like that deep. I mean, the nail was a good 3 or 4 inches long.
And did you just pull your foot off?
Yeah.
It went like 3 inches into your foot?
I bet if I was not wearing shoes, it would have went through my foot. That's how long it was.
Because, I mean, you had to have, like, torn some, like, muscle then, like, on the bottom of your like, plantar.
Like, shit hurts pretty bad still. But, I mean, I'm able to walk on it, but it's still, like, there.
Yeah. And that was a big nail. Like, my dad used to sometimes, like, accidentally shoot himself with the nail gun. But those are all thin and tiny. But that looked like a pretty big one, too.
Yeah. And I stepped on...
Spiders were eating your blood,
Yeah,
too.
the fucking granddaddy long legs. I come back 10 minutes later. 10 minutes later, they sniffed it out, and they were like, their little things, like, licking it up. I was like, holy shit, man.
They needed
we got
salt.
That Himalayan. They tasted it. Hey, they're probably going to be juiced out. But I will say I stepped on 2 nails. So the right foot stepped all the way on.
One wasn't enough.
And, because I was walking so fast, I took that right foot. But that's what I did. I pretty much stepped and then put my left foot down. I felt the left shoe hit the nail. And as soon as I felt this foot, I jumped, like, involuntarily, like, instinctively, just jumped back. And I felt my right foot pull the board. Like, as I stepped back, the board came up with
like his life is a sitcom.
It is.
Like, it just needs a laugh track.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah. But, I mean, so it's been fun, though. Besides that, I haven't really messed myself up anymore, hopefully.
Yeah.
Not
for this week.
Yeah. I have been pretty willy-nilly with that chainsaw. I haven't used a chainsaw in years. And it's an electric one, so it has like 2 different safeties on it.
That is pretty cool.
Like, it has one safety switch to just like unlock the thing in general. And then it has, for the trigger, you just can't pull the trigger.
Yeah.
You have to hit this other button, hold it, and then you can pull the trigger. And if you let go of that, it's going to stop. If the other flip thing happens, it stops. So there's a lot of fail-safes or whatever, but I'm still like, reaching out on my toes to get some shit on a hill. I'm all like, I'm just cutting on a hill, and it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you like the electric?
I do like it because it's way quieter.
Yeah.
Doesn't smell, obviously. And it lasts. I probably can cut, like, who knows, let's say time-wise, because it depends on how big the tree is, but I can cut for like an hour, close to an hour's worth of trees with the fucking chainsaw electric.
Dang.
Yeah. Then you charge the battery again. Or you have, obviously, the most efficient is having one charge while you're using one, then swap. That's the way I've been doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that bitch will cut through like a good 5 or 6 inch, 7 inch tree. Pretty quick. It's crazy.
Cool.
You got electric weed eater too. It's powerful, but the battery burns out on that quicker than the chainsaw does. I don't know why. You would think like cutting grass, like weeds and shit would go all day. But yeah, it's pretty good.
It's coming along.
Yeah, it's coming along. Still many, 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 many more hours and shit to do. But, we realized that when we jumped into it, we had, we're in an agreement pretty much for 2 years to be able to, do what we can before, any huge financial commitments are needed. So, I mean, we're still obviously trying to just like get it done as quickly as possible so we can start getting people in it. Yeah. But, there's no like sweat as of yet. Unless for some reason a tree takes the fucker out. And then it's like, all right, well, I guess that's done. Moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what's been good with y'all?
I'm kind of jealous of your electric stuff because all Saturday I've been telling you I've been having this issue with the lawnmower. And the annoying thing is at home I don't really have like cell service or internet. So like I'll come here, try to look at a possible solution. Then the next time I go home, I try it and it doesn't work. And then I come back to work the next day, like look up something else. It's been so spotty with rain lately too. Like I feel like it's been a couple weeks going on. So then on Saturday, I figured I would try like a more big solution as far as there's this stuff called like sea foam. So basically if like the carburetor is clogged or something like that,
clean it.
You clean it out with that. So I like took it apart and cleaned everything and stuff like that. Still didn't work. So then I the next thing is just replacing the carburetor itself. And so I have to wait for that to come just in the mail because it wasn't at the store. Like $15.
Oh, okay.
So not that much.
I was gonna say if it was like worth just buying a new one.
Yeah. Which the lawnmower I think I got for like $180 maybe or something like that on Craigslist. So it's like not that it was too much, but still it's annoying, and it's to the point now like I have to like weed eat everything and then cut what is left over basically because it's so tall without it.
That shit's probably growing like fucking hell.
And the annoying thing was I walked to, because at that point too I was like, okay, well I've like worked on this basically all day of like going back and forth to Lowe's, like trying this. And
where's the closest Lowe's? Short
like 25 minutes.
God.
So then I was like, well, at least
burn the
like,
grass. Burn it. Fuck it.
I was like, at least I got a few neighbors that have like 0 turns. So I was like, I'm just gonna give one of them $20 and see if I can just like use their lawnmower. So I go to 2 of my neighbors' houses, which they're kind of far away, at least like maybe 5-minute walk, a little bit more, somewhat for a neighbor at least, to where like if it's too far down the neighborhood, it's like not even worth it because you can't really even drive it like back over. So I went to 2 of their houses. 2 of them weren't there, and then the third one was there. I was like, hey, can I give you $20? Like I've been having an issue with my lawnmower. Can I just use yours to just like cut this really quick? And he was like, oh yeah, sure thing. Like I'll drive it over. And so then I see him walking down the driveway, and I was like, oh hey, what's going on? And he was like, actually, like this is my son's lawnmower. And he said, no, I wasn't allowed to give it to you to use. And so he was like, he said that your grass was a little too tall to be able to use it. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, so I'm sorry, but I can't let you use it. And it's just like, okay, well.
Sorry to have you say that.
I'm sorry for you to walk all the way over here. But
so
good thing I brought this back.
Yeah, I admitted defeat that day. But hopefully when this comes in the mail by like Wednesday, I can replace it and then be good. But it's annoying though, just because, certain things, I guess it is. I don't know sometimes if it's like more advantageous for like actual fuel engine or if that's just kind of like the way we've always done it. Because my uncle has like a battery powered lawnmower and it's nice. It's quiet. But I almost just think like battery powered, like, that's not nearly as good, but maybe that is the future.
It kind of is.
Prius.
I feel like it's more efficient.
That's what 100%. I mean, even though
less parts,
and this is the way, because me and my mom, when we were going to buy these tools, we were like, well, do we want to get gas? Because gas, is known for having that power. Like you would think, oh, electric, it's probably weak as shit, but actually, electric, it has a lot of torque. As long as the parts inside of it don't break, it'll have just as much power as gas shit.
Yeah.
And what we were thinking about is like, all right, well, this is going to be for the rental property, so we're going to leave it down there, and it's only going to be used 1 season a year pretty much, you know?
You can keep it in the winter.
With gas, gas shit, if you let it sit for X amount of months, you go to turn it back on or try and turn it back on, whatever, it's all gummed up and shit. And we were like, you know what, electric, you should just be able to juice the battery up, plug it in, and grip and rip.
Exactly.
Speaking of farm living, I don't know if you guys knew this, because I didn't know this. One of our members is like alternate universe, I guess, and not in like a mean way, but like Griffin's like dream of like where he wanted to go with this. Just because, so I know it's gonna sound like in a mean way, but no. But I mean, this took like 5 years though. But I got to show you.
Self-sustained.
It's more than self-sustained. Let me find the picture of what the house was when he bought it. But he'd actually be a really good resource for you to talk to, Griffin. Yeah. Shoot, if I can just... Oh, no, here's the picture. So
is he a member?
Here's the house. Yeah, he's a member. So here's the house when he bought it. This was 5 years ago.
All right.
Okay. And here's the house now.
Whoa, that's like a
and he did it
plantation.
all himself. He's learned all this
It's pretty
shit.
dope.
He's the one that drilled in the platform for
It's a lot
us.
of fucking work too.
And so he's got all that land too, for reference, Griffin. And recently he rebuilt and remodeled his barn.
Gee.
I know. It's pretty incredible.
Oh shit!
I know. And I was talking to him about it yesterday because I was like, this is super impressive. This guy, yeah. And so he's now been growing like different jams and pickles and different things like that in his
What else he
farm
growing?
with his wife, and been selling it on Etsy and also local farmers markets and things like that. So
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
it's
rid
pretty
into him at
incredible.
Home Depot the other
Oh, you
day.
did?
That's funny.
yeah, well, when I first talked to him, and he offered to like adjust something on our cable stack, I was like, sure. And I was like, he seems to like really like want to do like manual labor. I'm like, what is he like? Just like Keith, And then he offered to drill into the concrete. He's like, oh, I have that tool. I'm like, it's kind of strange to have that tool.
Yeah,
and then I see this. I'm like, it all makes sense. This guy does all of his own plumbing and construction and all this shit. It's
Guy's
crazy.
part Amish.
Yeah,
I
that's a
know.
good mentality.
I know,
to
but
have.
I was like,
That was a beautiful barn.
oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I am like, it's like none of us could like do that
No,
shit.
no.
So I'm like, more power to him.
I'm
but
building fucking
crazy.
Lincoln log
I
houses,
know.
bro.
I can barely mow grass. Yeah.
Damn,
I
that's
know.
wild.
But I saw that and I was like, damn. I was like, I got to tell you all about that.
Yeah.
But since we're
You
on
know
the
who else has a farm that's a member here? I'm gonna ruin his name.
Who are you talking?
Chandra.
Oh, he does?
Chandra?
I know he was
Is
looking
that his
at
name?
one.
He does?
Yes.
His family or him?
His family like left it to him or some shit.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Because he had messaged me about looking for property.
He supposedly it's like 50 or 60 acres.
He's got a cool motorcycle.
It's
too.
up north, I think. He says like his
This
family.
guy.
Yep.
Damn, I got to talk to him. He's a nice cat.
Yeah, no, he is super nice. He talks to me every time he comes up in here. And I asked him what he was going to be doing one weekend. He was like, yeah, I'm going up to the farm. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, yeah, my family like left this farm behind. I'm trying to keep it going. Like they grow a bunch of shit and they sell to like local markets or some shit. Yeah. Like legitimate
I
like,
think
farm.
we have the coolest members.
Hell yeah,
The more
no.
you talk to him, you're like,
No.
yeah.
Except the ones that don't put clips in their fucking
Yeah.
bars.
Yeah.
You ain't cool.
We just fixed that hole yesterday, painted it. So
You ain't cool.
yeah,
Just in time.
yeah, just in time for
Another
another
hole.
member to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Boom.
But yeah, I know how the grass cutting goes. That shit sucks. Which makes me grateful. It makes me excited to get a home, especially like working on this piece of property that we're on with the rental thing. But it makes me grateful to have an apartment complex where they pay for that shit. Where I show up and the grass is just cut.
Yeah.
But then I'm also like, man, it feels accomplishing. It feels good to like get out and just do something like that.
I feel
It's
like
been
the thing
great.
with the home too is like it's like endless projects. Like
Yeah.
like there is. I mean, obviously, like whenever you buy it, you're content with it. But there's also so many things you want to do with it. And even after you complete, let's say, 20 different projects, there's always like, well, I could install this light package or set this up. So it is one of those
It's
things.
a perspective matter, I would say. Because on one hand, in my apartment, like it was nice thinking back to just like come home and not even have to think about anything at home. You just like work on whatever you need to work on for your business or whatever. But then on the other hand, it is kind of fun sometimes to just have these little like renovation things. You're like, oh, let me put like lighting under the cabinets, or like, I don't know, get a rain shower head, or like other things like that.
Because, like, let's say the last couple things that have broken at our apartment, like the garbage disposal in the sink went out like a year ago. Drywall was like getting fucked up from like a water leak or something in the ceiling. Shit like that. We just called maintenance. They came and fixed it like that. Now, that's not the fun shit. Maybe I could do the sink thing, but like the drywall and sheetrock, I don't think I could fuck with that. At least not right now. But it's like, I'm grateful to have that for now. And eventually, hopefully, maybe I'll learn those skills. Or if not, I can find somebody and pay them.
Yeah. In a dream world, I can just download his skills
Yes.
into like my brain, like the Matrix.
It's like
but,
YouTube.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
sheetrock.
Yeah,
I know
but at
drywall.
some point, like I'll just know I'm not the manly man labor construction kind of guy. So I just
That's why you make the big bucks, man.
yeah,
So you can
I
pay
just
'em.
sit in my little my little chair and get
Yeah.
on my laptop.
Yep.
Yeah.
With his lotioned hands,
Yeah,
uncalloused,
moisturized hands.
uncalloused,
Yeah.
lotioned
Yeah.
hands.
Calloused on the fingertips from all the typing.
All the typing. Yeah.
So I will say, I made a big commitment yesterday.
What's
Signed
that?
up for the Richmond Marathon.
Is that in December?
November.
What is that? 30 miles?
26.2. Which
you've ran before.
I ran before.
Doesn't sound like a huge commitment to me. Been there, done that.
Flat.
But
Yeah.
but in small side note, because actually Chandra, I feel like we're fucking that name up, but either way, he knows the sentiments there.
Yeah.
Anyway, he messaged me after we talked about it on the podcast. Why is it 26.2? And it's 26.2 because Greek times some guy ran 26 miles and then died right at 26 miles. And so they're like, hey, let's make a race out of this. So now, and then they added the 0.2 for whatever reason. So it's 26.2 because of that whole like legend or story. But anyway,
fuck.
So Richmond Marathon, November 13th. The difference for me is one, it's an official like race, and so there'll be a medal. There will be like aid stations more set up. It'll be more official. There'll be people around me, so it's a different experience. It's more like official than me running it on my own, but it is a distance I've done before. But my ambitions for this race is not only to do it, but also to actually like run through the entire thing, because the first marathon I did, I ran basically the first like 22 miles. And then I, would have brief breaks of walking and then running. I still probably out of the 26 miles ran 24 and a half of it. But I did have brief breaks on some inclines near the end where I was just fucking dying. So the goal is to run through this entire one. And I think a couple things will aid me. One, having just more experience, more mileage done and preparing my body better. Two, it'll be cooler weather. Because last time it wasn't bad, but it was starting to get a little bit warmer and more humid. And then the biggest thing is the course is relatively flat. Basically, you go down towards Monument Avenue, you cross over the bridge, and you get kind of towards basically where the Buttermilk Trail and everything is. And so it's kind of actually probably some areas that I've already ran before. So then you come across down there, you loop back around, and then you run down like what's Boulevard? You run down like Boulevard and shit. So it's when I was looking at like they have an elevation map, it's relatively flat. So I think that'll help me a lot as well. And so I'm looking forward to it.
Number 4, there'll be other people running with you.
Yeah,
I think that will be good.
Oh, it's so much. When I ran the 10K, and this is the most I was running during the week was like 5 miles a week.
Yeah.
Preparing for the 10K, and this was like years ago. And I ran that, which is 6.2 miles at like an 8:38 pace. And up until like a few months ago, I've never ran faster over 6 miles. And just because like the energy, and then also you're like, you don't want to run behind someone, so you naturally pass them. So you're behind someone again, you naturally pass them, and then especially in the first like 12 miles, I'm sure I'm going to be passing a lot of, people that are there to run, walk it, which is fine, more power to them. But, there's people that aren't really there to, I don't know. They're just kind of signing up, They're just like...
Yeah, you're there to take souls.
I'm here to...
I'm not wearing a costume?
Yeah.
I'm
going to have a Griffin drive beside me. A lot of motherfuckers always talking, but they never working.
Everyone's going to wonder, who's the guy with the gimbal in the car the whole way?
On the rollerblades just rolling through. But, I'll have a whole film crew to finish 50th or 500th.
Yeah.
But anyway... But yeah, so I'm trying to like, I know kind of where I'm at. I know I'm not going to be like some elite finisher, but I do want to finish it and have, set goals for it. But I'm excited for that. So that's about 10 weeks out. I was considering not doing it just because I feel like I didn't have enough time to get my weekly mileage up quicker because I was worried about the tattoo. And then I've had some weirder weeks with doing the 50K. But I think I'll have plenty of time to
yeah, it's still until November, right?
Yeah, about 10 weeks. So
yeah, sure.
Hopefully I can get my weekly mileage up in the 60s and crush it.
Yeah.
So that's the plan.
I mean, I don't see, like, I just think all the variables showing up to something like that with music, people cheering, people out the streets.
Yeah. An actual starting gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see how you couldn't just nut it out.
Yeah, nut it out. That's exactly what's going through my mind.
Yeah.
When I ran track, my first meet, I was, Joel, just to preface this, I was the worst runner on the team. Usually, like, later in the season, they asked me to just not come to the meets anymore.
Hey, can you just...
have a sick day.
Yeah. Take the day off.
I will say, I was a lot better at jumping than I was running, but the first meet, they put me in the 400, and
you got to be pretty
that's
quick.
A little bit of, like, it's not a sprint like the 100, but it's not like a pacing thing like a mile would be. You kind of have this weird in between to where it's like technically like 1 lap around the track. But I remember at the time, like, it was just like this feeling of, this is my first meet, like, I'm so nervous. And then also, like, once the gun went off, it was like just this prey response. Almost. I wound up coming in second.
Oh, shit.
So it was that never happened again. But
it was the special
back in high school.
tournament.
Yeah.
I used to bench 405.
Yeah. But what shoes will you run with for something like that?
That's a good question. Because recently I got the Hoka Rincon 2s, and I've been enjoying those. But I don't know. I feel like sometimes I put on shoes and I naturally, like, certain ones I naturally just move faster with without even thinking about it. Like, I ran too fast yesterday than I was supposed to. So I'll either probably run in the Rincon 2s, or I might, I don't know. I don't think I want to do the Sauconys just because they're supposed to be faster. They're lighter, but they're, like, more narrow. And I don't know. I feel like I could roll an ankle or something. I don't know.
Go barefoot, dog.
Yeah. Dude, someone recently in Utah ran like an hour, 6-minute half marathon in Crocs. So I'm thinking about wearing Crocs now.
Let's go.
Yeah. Sport mode engaged.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure
had
he
those
had it
shits.
in four-wheel drive.
I can't imagine running with. They'd have to be so snug. Like I just feel how like Crocs are so like loose. They're lazy as fuck shoes.
Yeah. They are kind of responsive though. They're kind of bouncy.
Got that pop to them.
Yeah. But here's another interesting thing: is I was watching. I don't know if y'all ever find this, but sometimes there's some like really stellar, depending on what you're looking at on YouTube or whatever. But there's some really stellar like content creator made documentaries that you're like, damn, this could be like a Netflix like movie, and it's on YouTube. And so I've watched them in the past for like some different ultra runners or races, blah blah. But I found one that I had seen in my suggested videos a ton, but I just had never like clicked on it because I wasn't fully sure what it was about. But it's called Gary Robbins and the Barkley Marathons, and I thought it'd be interesting to explain because even like Maddie was like fascinated with like exactly what it was about, so I was like, yo, I might find this interesting. So in Tennessee, there's these things called the Barkley Marathons that happen in March, and it's this old head that's like in his like 70s named Lazarus Lake that created this back in like the late 80s, and basically he created it off the guy who assassinated MLK. He was held in a penitentiary in Tennessee. He escaped, and he only got like in 55 hours from escape, he only moved like 6 miles. And so the guy was like, that's crazy. I could run more than that in that much time. And so he basically made this marathon where it's basically 5 laps or 5 separate marathons. So it ends up being a little bit over 100 miles, like 130 miles. And on each lap or each marathon basically that you run, you have to find 14 different books and rip out a page corresponding to your bib number. So if you're 38, you find the book, rip out 38, you find the next book. You have to find 14 like per lap. And so not only that, but you can't have a GPS, you don't have a phone. It's through the woods. He makes up like the route like each year and hides these books. And so you have to run the race, find the books, bring them back, and there's certain cutoff times too. And you have to do basically all 5 laps have to be done in 60 hours times. So it has like only I think 12 different finishers ever, and like a couple of them have like repeated. But yeah, so like the finishing rate to even finish the race is like extremely low. So it's a super interesting race and really strange circumstances. So I was watching that, and very engaging, very, very well done documentary. So if you find that interesting at all, check it out.
Say it again. Gary
Robbins, the Barkley Marathons. Like, you just look that up on YouTube, or you just look up Barkley Marathons, you'll find. I think there's a separate like actual Netflix documentary somewhere about them anyway. But really cool concept, and I just love the idea because it's like extremely hard to complete, and then it also is just an ultra race in general. And yeah, it was pretty stressful because the guy on the second one, it's kind of a spoiler, but it's also not because it already happened. But on this, because he came back a second year to try and redo it, because the first year he failed near the end. Second year he got lost just because of like when you have like no sleep deprivation, you just start imagining things, you get off track. They give you a map to follow, but I mean, again, you don't have phone or GPS. Anyway, so the second year he comes back to try and like actually finish it this year, and he misses the cutoff by 6 seconds. But
kill myself.
But it wouldn't have qualified anyway because he basically got lost and took a wrong turn about like 2 miles out. And so he got off course, which disqualifies you. And then he's still 6 seconds late anyway. But yeah.
Damn.
Crazy stuff though. Pretty crazy race.
Yeah, it reminds me of finding. Did y'all ever have the Christmas pickle in your Christmas tree to have to find?
No.
Really?
No, was it like a turd?
Well,
Like
no,
just
it's like
hanging
an ornament that's like very easy to hide, basically.
In the tree?
Yeah, you kind of keep it close to the trunk, and it's like the same color as the tree, but it's like a pickle.
Yeah.
And if you find it, I think you get like an extra present or something like that. And so it was always something that your parents don't tell you that they hide. But on Christmas Day, like if you find it, then you have to let someone know, so you get an extra present.
So you know it's there though.
Yeah, you
year.
kind of you want it to be there. It usually is, but like no one tells you if it is or isn't. But then if you don't find it, then your parents are usually like, "Oh, here it was." Like you didn't find it. But the years I found it, my extra present was a hug, just so my brother wouldn't feel like he got deprived.
Fuck your brother.
I don't know. It just reminds me of that when he was talking about finding the pages.
I'd say keep your effing pickle.
Yeah, I know.
I said I wanted $20.
Yeah, so I don't know. I was surprised because I really feel like I don't really hear too many people talk about it. So that was just always something my family used to do.
No,
I didn't know if it was like a northern thing.
We never did anything like fancy for Christmas or like any extracurricular shit. You know, sometimes like on Christmas Eve you could open like a present or something like that.
Yeah, or
jumpstart it
the night before.
Yeah, the night before Christmas Eve, whatever. But yeah, speaking of like crazy shit on social media, this is particularly pertaining to Ashland. Let me pull up the text. So, are y'all big into like haunts, scare haunts, like
Yeah.
October?
Yeah. Ashland Berry Farm.
myself.
I bet you would. You fucking
I'm a
would.
little bitch.
He's gonna go watch. I'm gonna stay back and watch Dobie. Y'all have fun.
No, I like
Yeah, there's a
scary
fight
movies,
going
but
on that night.
Yeah, probably is.
Yeah.
But it's in Ashland. It's the Nefarious Haunted Experience.
Well, let me see it. I think I saw someone share this on Facebook. Yeah, I saw that on Facebook.
And it's in Ashland.
Is it
Well, the house
do it.
the house has been there for however fucking long. There's a big story behind the house and like the family that was in it and they were murdered or like one of the neighbors like slaughtered the whole family,
Can
shit
I
like
see
that.
where it is?
Yeah. If you scroll down to the very bottom, I think there's a map. It's near the courthouse, so it's on the other side of Ashland. Like up 301. So we're like we'd need to go that way, like probably 10, 12 minutes or so. But there's a video to it, and it's pretty cool, pretty creepy. And supposedly, you go in the house like goes in groups, like you aren't in like an ant line. You go in there with your little group, and you're trapped in there. And the only way you get out of the house is by solving like cues, mysteries, and shit like that of the murders, the slaughter, whatever.
Dang.
And there's obviously people in there probably scaring the fuck out of you.
Is there like you can only do it after dark?
I guess so.
Creepy.
Oh, that is creepy.
Yeah. I'm like I get excited for these things,
I
but
love
then
it.
when it comes down to like you're in the parking lot and you're like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
am I gonna be the
know,
bitch?
The door closes behind
Or
you.
you just hear the chainsaws ripping like, and you hear people screaming like,
I love
fuck
that.
me.
I love that little like stomach.
That
feeling.
yeah, I'm like, man, I might walk. I'm gonna be in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you
I usually
depend.
push Sarah in front of me.
Like Sarah is like into that shit.
Oh yeah, she is hardcore.
Yeah.
Hardcore. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mind it, but
Sure.
I'm like, fuck. I just hate like the jump. Like that hurts my
Yeah, I
heart
don't like the
sometimes. It's like,
jump
oh,
scares, yeah.
I could see in another 20 years. That's gonna be what kills me.
When I used to go to Busch Gardens as a kid, they say not to like strike the people that jump
Yeah, it's
out at you.
involuntary.
Yeah,
though.
it's almost like
get the fuck back.
I know. Got to sign up for it.
Yeah, I'd hate to be one of those workers at like King's Dominion or whatever, getting probably beat the shit out of.
Yeah.
You know, because you got a group of people you're about to scare, and it's only you.
That's what I'm worried about. Is I'd probably throw hands.
Take them
or do
down,
something,
ground and
yeah.
pound,
Yeah.
arm bar.
Put them in a triangle. Yeah.
We should all do it though. That would be fun.
I was
I'd
telling
do it
Maddie
with
the
you.
other day, and it goes back to like what we were talking about before, like like study shows man overrates his abilities like 99% of the time.
But you don't know what's in here.
When I go, I see red. But I was telling Maddie, I was like, I'll put it this way. I'm like the most trained, untrained person that there is.
I'm semi-amateur.
Yeah. There's enough that like if I was in the scenario, I'm like having flashbacks to UFC fights, and I know the positions.
Stolen valor.
So I'm like, I just got to get in these positions. They know less than me about the positions.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I know eyeballs and groin, chimpanzee style.
Yeah, that's true.
Just kidding. But I remember my dad. He was like, "You gotta just like a monkey, eyes and groin, eyes and groin."
With our luck, Austin would step on the nail in that house.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Oh fuck, man! If I told my mom, I was like, because she obviously worked another 2 hours after I stepped on that shit, and I was like, if I step on one more before the day's over, I would fucking die. Because like just like that sharp jolt, like I mentioned, it's a weird feeling.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like bad. It was just like I imagine that's what getting shot or stabbed feels like. It's like
Yeah. It's this weird like cold.
It isn't like a cry pain. It's like a almost like obviously immediately pissed off feeling, but it's like I don't know.
It's serious.
It takes your soul a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know if I've had anything like that happen before.
I don't think I ever had before that. I mean, obviously
I've close to it. One time I was working on a deck, and I jumped off the deck onto the pile of old boards, and one of them just like turned, and so it went through the back of my like Achilles area. But it didn't like it wasn't like a puncture like you had. It was almost just like you pull it out. But it wasn't as serious, I feel
There was that one time on top of those crates, though.
Yeah. Remember that crate challenge?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arms still ain't the same. There's going to be so many people, like 10 years from now, like, fucked up. But, so what's good? What's been new here? We get anything new here?
Soon, we'll have some new machines.
Oh, yeah, that's coming soon.
We finally sold that bench, which is good. So it clears up some space, gives us a little bit of extra cash. But, yeah, so our machines from Arsenal should be very soon. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. And I feel like, speaking of the bench being gone, not that I love having that extra space over there, but I like the fact that the benches can spread out now because I feel like every time I'd go back there, like, somehow 3 benches get, like, so pushed together because everybody's trying to be, like, either in front of the dumbbells or whatever. But
people fuck it up a little bit. Yeah.
But this morning all the benches were nice and spread out. I was like, damn, I like that.
I wish I could get rid of like one of them. Like either, see, here's my thing. I would get rid of the one that Trick brought, the one that can decline, but it's the only one that can decline, and people like that. So I'm like, can't do that. And
but it's the only thing it's probably good for is the decline. I don't even like the bench
true.
on it.
No, it sucks. It sucks. But it does decline. Or I could get rid of the flat because what you could do is you can set the other ones to flat, or you could grab. I saw someone do this the other day. If you do it, put it back where it goes. Don't fuck with me. But the flat from the combo racks, you could use that and wing that around. Just don't leave it over there. Put it back by the combo rack. But you could do that. But I don't know. Some people like just traditional flat. You can roll around and everything. But I'll probably get rid of. I'll probably tell Trick, take your junk back at some point.
Ask him. He'll probably tell you just keep it and then you just sell it.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I feel the same way.
Where the fuck has he been? I don't even know.
Him this weekend, actually. Yeah,
was he?
He was here
Okay.
Saturday. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's getting it done, dog.
All right.
He does come weird hours though. He's been coming late.
What? Good.
Yeah,
At least help get him out.
Deep pump.
Yeah. I know. I know. The other day he came in here, he took a tub. I was like, hey, man, the fuck are you selling them on the side? Not telling
he's
me.
Flipping them.
What are you doing?
He's flipping.
Gotta go through me, big dog.
Yeah.
But
yeah, things to get the gym. People have been loving that reverse hyper.
Oh yeah, no, I
used
it, dude. It's been forever since I've used that piece.
I haven't used it yet. I forgot to.
And that thing tore my glutes, and even like, what part of the hamstring is right in there? Like
maybe like gracilis.
Yes, whatever the fuck that is, that ties into those ass cheeks, the inner ass cheeks. Yo, that thing was ripping. The ripping and the tearing. I only had 25s on it, and that shit was. I felt like somebody was in there just like pulling on.
Well, you don't stretch, right? So I feel like everything's tight.
Well, it stretches on the way back down. you get a little stretch on there.
Yourself
It does feel good on my back. It almost pulls a little traction on it.
That's what I want to use it for.
Yeah, it feels good. Might gain an inch or two.
Maybe.
Hey, it's true. Every inch counts. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people on it. Saw people on it right before we started the show, which is cool.
I was telling Hunter, which it's his. He just asked if he could bring it here. I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
And because we were thinking about getting one, I do want to get one eventually, but I want to get one that a couple brands make it, but it's reverse hyper and a GHD all in one. And so I'm like, because that would be a lot more versatile than just a singular piece in that spot. But yeah, I told him to bring it, and we've had just as many members ask questions about that as the only other machine I think that got a lot of buzz was that Nitro chest press. I had 6 people come up to me within a day or two, be like, "Man, that chest press is amazing."
Yeah.
So
good. Yeah. What else?
What's new with you, man? Isn't the giveaway on the reel?
Yeah, so I got to pick a winner for that. I was supposed to pick one yesterday and just did not do it, so I'm going to probably announce that here
Surprise,
soon.
There's no winners.
Yeah, no winner yet. I haven't forgotten about you.
Yeah,
right. But going to pick one here soon, and of course, make sure when we're doing giveaways you read the captions, because a lot of people are just tagging people and not resharing the story, or vice versa. And if you don't, hey, you snooze, you lose, or you got to pay the price to be.
You lose.
Incompetent.
Yeah.
So, but thank you for the share, the likes, the tags. We'll hopefully do more, probably every so often, maybe once a month.
And
so
get
just keep
Sherbert while it's here. I mean, obviously there's a good bit of stock because it's somewhat new, but it's been flying. So
It has been, and I just did an event yesterday at the Dory Park out in Henrico. Really cool park. I haven't really ever been deep into it before like I did, and I went pretty much all the way up in there. And very nice, clean park, friendly people. It didn't seem like there's just junkies running around at some downtown in Richmond, which I wasn't expecting it to be too great because it was the East End, but it was pretty fucking nice. And did it for an event called Running with a Purpose, which is by a company called, or a nonprofit called, A New Purpose. And they just put on this 5K for mental health, whatever. And it was awesome to see all the people come out there. It was about 70 runners total. And got to see a lot of new faces, obviously, because I don't know anybody out there in that community yet. But a ton of the people after the race came by the table of the booth and were trying to overcome, especially Orange Sherbet. I'd say it was 65% people leaning Sherbet, the rest going to lemonade, saying, which one they like the most. And we moved quite a few tubs of it out there, a couple pre-workouts. But it was a cool event, and, obviously just new people, new faces getting to see GYMFLO, which was awesome as well. I'm looking forward to getting out to, I was telling Brock this, and I was telling Kathy too, because, she asked about the event, and I really want to get with, Richmond Marathon and other, local communities and cultures that are around fitness and getting the Richmond area moving, and hopefully can plan some stuff out and become some sponsors of those events here soon.
I had to film this yoga event last week, and I met the guy who has the CrossFit Lacertus, so I was telling him that
Tyrone.
I just knew of him from you. So
he should know.
I remember
me.
you.
You say fuck that guy.
Yeah, he said tell him not to come back.
Get fucked. Damn. Yeah, they got a new spot over in Mechanicsville now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because they used to have their shit used to be really close to here.
Playing the ground game.
There's a lot of CrossFit gyms. There's them. There's Train Town, and then the Sogo, but there's only one Iron Bill.
Hey, and the thing is, I think their new spot. It's obviously bigger out in Mechanicsville, but I think theirs is a little bit newer compared to some of these other gyms or boxes that are just empty warehouses with no heat or AC.
Boxes.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not
That's
a
an
gym.
interesting phrase. Yeah, I did see that a lot with
Yeah.
and stuff.
Got to hit the box with my wad.
Yeah.
With my wad. Fat wad.
That fat wad. Got a nasty wad coming up.
Yeah, AMRAP. Yeah.
But as far as updates though, yeah, Orange Sherbet's been awesome. Everybody's been fucking loving it.
We even had some still.
Yeah, I kept it over there. I had the stash.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's hidden in
and
the
that was
back of the
pretty
computer
much
hard drive.
the last serving.
So don't
There's
go looking for it.
yeah, bitch.
Yeah.
I put a little line on where the level is on there with the marker. That's what my parents. I I guess because there was just like one alcoholic drink they tried to trash, or it was in the fridge or something like that. And when we were kids, we would go and drink a few sips out of it. And then I noticed there was a black line on it, the bottle, like after a few weeks. I was like, I wonder if they put that there to see if the level's moving down.
Did you do that with Keith?
And I just filled it back up with water.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, Keith. Yeah, Keith, he's probably, that whole 100 proof's probably straight water. He probably drank all that shit, refilled it with water.
Yeah, resealed
He's
it.
like, yeah, they'll never know. They'll never drink it. But, yeah, fucking, what was I about to say? Orange sherbet's been great. SFP, been taking that. Probably took it 2 or 3 times in the past 2 weeks. Fucking awesome. Such a, I don't want to sound like I'm sucking my own D over here, but
Feel free.
it's a very simple product. Like we talked about before with like pump, it doesn't need to be overdone. It doesn't need to be 8, 12 different ingredients. Pump is pretty simple.
I'll
Sodium.
even like I've from SP&C, been trying that what is the company called? Like Superhuman like pump, or Alpha Lion, like Superhuman pump, whatever it is. And it's got like 10, 12 different ingredients, and so some of that caught my eye. But like you said, like I'd rather take the product that's just got 4 or 5 things that like work.
Yes, that work. And
It works better.
just helping anybody out there that's trying to get a pump. There's just different pathways you can get a pump, and that's with either hydration, making sure that you're fully hydrated, drinking plenty of water, because if you're not drinking water, you're going to be dehydrated and flat. So making sure you're hydrated and increasing that hydration by adding in either sodium, because water follows sodium. You put sodium in the body, water's going to follow it in there and soak it up, and it's going to help vascularity. So that's one pathway right there. Another pathway is nitric oxide, so citrulline, or arginine. Arginine's not really that great, but citrulline's a better form. And then you can get a nitrate pathway, which helps dilate your blood vessels, give you a pump. But, there's so many different pathways, and those are at least the 3 that we're trying to aim on, besides the nitrate, to get a good pump. And I don't know, I've been having stellar pumps when I take it. Could be just, luck of the draw of like, a great day, but it's been consistent. Every time I take it, I feel fucking great.
Yeah.
Fucking great. But I wanted to talk on this because I haven't done it in a while, and I feel bad. I do legitimately feel like a piece of shit on the inside because I haven't stuck up with it. But the bike, I haven't been on it in like a week and a half, either the stationary or the regular bike. I had the regular bike in my car for like a week, saying, all right, tomorrow I'm going to wake up stupid early. I'm going to wake up at 4 and hit it by 5 so I can get to the gym by 7. And then it's like, oh, fuck, I woke up a little late, or this, whatever. I give myself whatever little excuse and just never made it out the door. And, with my weekends being down there, it's like, well, fuck. I still probably could squeeze it in, especially on the stationary bike here, because that takes no effort just to hop on it and go. But I'm going to be changing that.
Not with tetanus.
Oh, fuck. Man, I got that tetanus shot, boy.
Well, the puncture, I mean.
Too. Oh, yeah.
Trying to lift and do like some other sport, it's kind of brutal. And then I know once you throw on the property, or whatever's going on, it's really tough. Especially I'm thinking long term too. When I want to run a 100-mile race, I'll probably have to be doing minimum 80-mile weeks, or upwards of 110-mile weeks.
And something's gonna have to give.
Something's gonna have to give. And what most people will do, and what I'll have to do, is really 2-a-days, 4 days out of the week, meaning I'll run 8 miles in the morning and 10 in the evening, and then have to fit a lifting workout somewhere in middle of the day.
And probably do you think you probably just end up having to work out maybe 3 times a week, and the other days just be strictly training for running?
No, what I think I will do though is only have 1 leg workout a week. The upper body doesn't take too much out of me. It's just more of a time suck. If it can, once you get to that point, priority wise. But I still love it. I think it benefits me. It's still it feeds the soul. But as far as leg training, I need that one day, keep some strength, size, blah blah blah. But I think the second day I could turn that into more of an active recovery, do movements that aren't too volume heavy, but still have a benefit of some hypertrophy. Maybe I could do some single leg RDLs that work on stability, but it's not overly heavy, and so forth, and things like that. Or even today, what I did today, I want to try and do for the next couple weeks and see how I feel about it, is normal quad workout for Monday is front squats, lunges, and then let's say a leg extension or leg press or hack squat. But I did today front squats, lunges, and then heavy sled push. And so what I was doing with that is loading it up pretty heavy. I wasn't really focused on the speed, but really just driving knees forward, thinking about like what it feels like when I'm running up a hill.
He saw that panada and fucking, he's like, I gotta recreate that.
Yeah.
I gotta recreate that.
Yeah, we don't
How
need to
do I
buy
do
that.
it?
Yeah. But I'm basically trying to like, train those same muscles, those same patterns to where, hopefully I can be more efficient running up those hills, and the more I do those trails and things like that. But point is, I'll definitely have to modify my training by the time I get to those like really high distances, as far as like recovery. But the hardest thing is even like lifting aside, like just fitting in that many miles, is it just requires so much time of your day,
And that much, the way I think it, and I'm not good at this shit, so I'm just talking like I know it, but I would assume with that much extra activity added, there's going to be that much more time that you're going to have to add for recovery, whether it's stretching, rolling out, fucking whatever.
Your body adapts really well, especially if you do it slow. Like, I'll say I'm already like, obviously getting my sleep and I'm stretching. I'd say the hardest part is eating enough to like make up for all the calories you're burning.
Domino's back in the play, baby.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Seen him in a while.
But it's not like after every run, like I'm just tore up, Like most runs, if it's not over 10 miles or it's not, immediately the day of like a leg day, I'm really not sore in my legs. It's like different than weightlifting in that way. But there is like a general fatigue if you don't, or tightness if you're not stretching and doing all those things. So it'll be tough, but it's one of those things like just make up as I go and face the issues. But I am like understanding that at some point there is like a give back at least for like a month or two before I do a race to where I'll probably have to like give up one leg day, But honestly, like I'm cool if my legs stay mostly the same size and maybe like lean out a little bit, and my upper body though, as long as that can stay mostly muscular, I'm cool. I'm okay with giving up a little bit of leg size. I just don't want shrimp legs, which I don't think will happen unless I just stop like lifting.
We'll find out. Stay tuned to the next episode.
Yeah. How I lost my legs. Yeah.
Brock from the knee down, they're shrimp.
Yeah. But I feel like, for the most part though, it's kind of like to the average person, all of us are, big or whatever.
Yeah.
But then to the bodybuilder, you're fucking small.
Oh, I'm tiny as shit.
So it's like, I'm never big enough anyway.
No.
So it's like, if I give up 2 inches on my legs, it's not the end of the world.
When people like, especially family members, are like, "Hey, Austin, you're looking like you gained some size, some weight, whatever, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Oh God,
they don't know."
Yeah, I need to go hit the gym now. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like.
Yeah.
And my uncle, I saw him the other day. I borrowed a leaf blower from him. And he was like, "Man, you're looking slim." I said,
No.
"That's the worst fucking." He's like, "But no, like in a good way, like slim." There's no good way about it.
There's no good slim.
There's no good slim.
There's no good slim, yeah.
That's how you can pretty much cut my throat right there.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's one of those mindset switches though that I know we touched on like 2 weeks ago about like performance in physique, like balancing, like what you want. But
and
I'm
not going to be hard strung if I'm never getting like to 220 or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'd like to continue pushing forward in all aspects. Continue to weight train. Continue to try and push myself.
Bigger by the day.
Yeah. Further by the day, I guess, if I could say it. Just the needle forward in any direction, whether that be the weights or whatever. I don't know. I've hung my bodybuilding trunks up.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Biggest trophy on the
That's
wall
right
there.
Well, I was telling Maddie like, because I think I was describing a little bit of this to her, and she was like, do you ever think you'll stop lifting? I was like, no. I was like, no way. It's like I lift, like why I lift and why I'll get excited to do a workout is because I like love the act of lifting. I love the feeling, and I like being strong in those things. But it's like the running, it's more like I'm doing it for like the end goal or the performance versus like lifting. I don't have like some massive goal or milestone like we talked about before, with that. It's more like I enjoy doing it, so I'm going to keep doing it, versus like not every like run I'm like in love with, but I'm in love with like the progress and like the end goal of it,
I wonder if it's just like if you never ever got a pump in your life, what have you missed out on? Like people that run or bike or do whatever training, but they never lifted a weight and got some muscle, got some blood into that muscle.
Don't love exercising.
There's like, my lungs are burning. God. Like, no, I'm not talking about COPD. Yeah. I'm talking about a pump. Yeah. Lungs burning. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's true.
Or my legs are.
There's so many different ways to exercise, and just none of them. You probably just don't try all of them, but none of them sparked your interest. It's like the world is your oyster if you can find an exercise that you like to do. Even if all you did was come in and train arms, at least you're coming in 2-3 times a week.
And them bitches looking good.
Burning calories and they're looking good.
Got them sleeveless on.
But the people that don't do anything, it's like, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, by the way, I was about to take a turn onto the C word. Vid.
Oh yeah.
Because those motherfuckers, man.
Yeah. It's always funny too because you see these article headlines that are
just go for it.
healthy, healthy teen or whatever, healthy adult is on a ventilator, and then you look at the picture and it's like
the blob,
300
fucking blob
every time. Yeah, and I'll see it on Facebook. It'll be like, I've had 5 friends die, and then I look at the friends and they're all 50 and fat, and I'm like.
This video rings true.
Oh shit!
The real
obviously, my wife Sarah, she's a nurse, and she came home 2 or 3 nights ago, and she was like, "Oh, it's getting pretty serious at the hospital." I was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Yeah,
how much are they paying you?"
Well, right? I was like, "What's going on here?" But she was like, "Yeah, we just admitted a 34-year-old. He's about to get put on a ventilator, and there's this 26-year-old female. She's not doing too good. She's probably gonna get moved up." I'm like.
Let me see
all right, well, I need you to break that HIPAA law and take a picture of these people for me. But no, I'm like, all right, well, hold on. First off, wait. All right, well, the 26-year-old, she might be 250, 280 pounds. Bitch is a heifer.
Yeah.
God.
Where they all are.
Yeah.
From.
And the other guy has asthma, and, so it's already a breathing problem. Then you're giving them the vid that is a breathing ailment or a problem, so it's just supercharging that.
Hey, Joe crushed it. Joe Rogan crushed that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, with the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
But
he might have had a lot of vitamins.
I saw one of the comments that says the cure for COVID: money. Yeah. Lots of money.
That's how it is with AIDS.
I mean, it is. Dead serious. Magic Johnson's still kicking.
Dude.
Yeah. Probably healthiest dude on this earth.
Yeah.
But I'm putting my investment into my body, so all of us, we're keeping. I don't know. It's just fucking use your body. Come on, you've had over a year to take care of your body, especially because me and Sarah, we got into a little bit of a back and forth about the chick and the dude, and I was like,
He's
that chick
again.
Yeah.
No, her hitting him.
Yeah, probably. She would.
Eye.
Fucking just covering up, taking those body shots. Just,
starts digging in the gut. Stop it.
But I was like, this chick has had over a year. COVID ain't new, right?
Yeah.
It's been a year and a half or however long. How is she not taking at least a step to start losing?
You know what I was thinking
she's like,
about?
well, what if she was 600 and now she's 280? I was like, I doubt it.
Yeah.
I'm sure she sat on her fat ass.
I thought about this bold take that I was like, this is a hot take. I was like, if we start mandating, let's say they said, all right, we're mandating vaccines to all the population.
Yeah.
When are we going to mandate healthy eating and exercise?
That should be number one.
Yeah. When are we going to say, okay, you have mandatory 30 minutes, get out your house?
There's not a company that
I know.
is.
And nobody's going to benefit from that.
Yeah.
Except personal.
Yeah.
That's true.
There's no profit to be made.
What happened to
Cue the
personal
Illuminati
responsibility
I know.
for yourself?
Yeah. But it's isn't that almost the same thing? It's you're trying to mandate health and safety, right? So,
man, this shit it gets me fired up sometimes because you see the people that are arguing. I'm neither. I feel like everybody says, "Oh, I'm middle of the field" or whatever. I feel like I can be because I don't care if you get the shit. I mean, not get the COVID, get the shot. I don't care if you wear the mask, you stay at home.
The problem with the people that are so hell bent on one side,
fucking burn you at the stake if you haven't gotten it. And why not? And they ask you why not. Well, why did you get it? Why the fuck not?
We've
why
never
not?
given that much pressure over a fucking flu shot. I never get the flu shot.
Well, that's a funny thing too, is I feel like objectively with your lifestyle and habits, like you're in the right of like exercise, eat healthy, other things like that. And it's like the people that are generally like unhealthy are the ones that are down your throat about doing what you need to do to like, you know, protect the public.
For your health.
Like, yeah.
I've taken care of my health, bitch.
Whereas like, you know, you're the one that's like objectively day to day doing the right thing, but you don't care what they do.
Yeah.
And they are the ones objectively that are unhealthy day to day, but they're trying to like ram their, you know, solution down your throat, basically. It's like, okay, we need to turn these tables a little bit more on the treadmill.
Yeah. Do we want to go with another rant? I got another one.
Sure. Oh, break it off.
Right.
We're in there.
We're at the tail end.
How come we got so many fucking places closing because they can't hire anybody?
Yeah,
I've seen that too.
Man, we got to stop paying people not to work.
Fucking Fast Mart is giving out $1,000 sign-on bonus.
Yeah,
$1,000 just
for a week.
Yeah, just for like, hey, you cashier.
Yes.
All right, you're getting $1,000 just to show up.
Chick-fil-A, I think, is too. Like, I've seen Red Robin couldn't open some days, and my parents thought they were closed. I was there the other day. They just don't have enough staff. Every time Maddie and I go to like a restaurant, they're like, hey, like, we're sorry, it's gonna take a little while. We're just understaffed right now. It's like, how are there that many people that places are hiring? So that's not the issue. It's people are just not fucking working.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That is fucking insane, man.
Why are we paying people $300 a week to be unemployed when there are active jobs out there? So clearly the system is not venting these people properly to figure out.
They want them on the fucking tit. They want them sucking that
times too. I think for the unemployment, you have to show that you like
are applied
somewhere, so they'll schedule an interview and then just not show up too.
Yeah.
So it's ridiculous.
I mean, is it weird that like I'm sure all three of us think this? It's like, oh, I'm supposed to work. Even if I didn't like what I did, like I enjoy what I do here. I enjoy training. I enjoy GYMFLO. I enjoy everything. So like I look forward to working. But even if I didn't, I feel like just a involuntary. I'm supposed to work. Like I got to get the fuck up. Like if not, you would just feel like a complete piece of shit. I'm sure most people out there that are collecting that check are wondering why they feel like a piece of shit or why they aren't happy with themselves or unfulfilled. Just collecting that check, because I can only imagine just like sitting back, like waiting for the government, please feed
and then
me.
It translates to like, well, let me get Uber Eats, like other things like that.
And it just snowballs, and it's like, I don't know. Do y'all have that gut feeling? It's like, oh, I'm supposed to work.
Too. And it's like even they were talking about trying out UBI. I think like San Francisco is or something like that. Universal Basic Income.
Oh, fuck that.
And, with the whole stimulus thing, I feel like the stimulus check was a perfect example of showing, A, how many people got it that don't really need it.
I still have mine.
Even like myself included. And B...
You haven't cashed it or anything?
No. Well, I mean, like, I still have it. I just never used it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Good for you.
Yeah. And then B... how many people just wasted it? On dumb shit. On
the
DoorDash,
new Yeezys.
Yeah. And it's like... Y'all don't understand, like, even if there's a percentage that, could benefit from it, there's, like, so many, like, fuckheads that just waste it.
Yeah.
It's like there's a point where the government does need to help, like, its citizens and try and push you and nudge you in the right direction, but there is a point where so many people abuse the system, and it's like you can't just keep giving out free handouts to these people. It's like when Jessica, what is dead named? Well, not really dead named, but one of my clients. I guess I didn't give a last name.
Oh.
But anyway, so to speak, yeah. She works in a hospital or whatever, and there's so many people that come in with like, these meth addicts or whatever that come in, homeless, whatever. Feel sorry for them. Bad shit happens, whatever. But then they'll come in, taxpayer dollars is paying for their health care. They'll leave. The next week, they're back in for the same shit, getting their teeth fixed from, so much drug abuse. And it's like, our tax money is going towards that. But it's like, how many times do you take care of that person?
Did you ever hear about people that are like, your granddad catches you smoking a cigarette and then you have to smoke the whole pack?
I heard of that.
Like,
or you have to
come into the hospital as like a meth addict. It's like, more.
Oh, yeah, you got to smoke this whole rock now.
Yeah.
You're going to smoke this whole rock.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, God, no.
Yeah. No, you wanted it.
Yeah. You eat that thing. They should.
Yeah.
OD, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Damn.
Or like the people that come in on the ventilator, I guess, and it's like you got to eat this whole 5-layer cake.
Shoving it down the pipe.
Yeah, you wanted it, huh?
You get it in the blender and just the funnel.
Put it in the eye.
I thought you liked Five
the
Guys.
feeding tube.
Just
Yeah.
get a pie to the face.
That's Griffin's hospital.
I like that shit, man. That's pretty fucking funny. I mean, I don't want to be, it's funny as shit. And of course, I want people to realize we do have a soul.
Yeah.
It sucks that people are being affected,
trolling.
but there's a point in time where you got to take self-responsibility. You've had over a year to realize this shit's real. It can affect certain people. So if you feel like you're at risk, or you look at yourself in the mirror and be like, damn, I'm a little out of shape, probably should start taking the steps in the right direction to start fixing that shit.
Yeah.
Right? And take responsibility for your body. Not mine, not anybody else's, yourself. Speaking of the job thing, with businesses and people having a tough time to I've been thinking about it a little bit because I've heard about like fast food restaurants closing early and shit like that. I'm like, how does a fast food place not have staff? They're usually all done, tons of motherfuckers in there with their hands in their pockets, not doing a damn thing. But I feel like, who am I? I haven't been in like business long enough to like see the ups and downs and the paths and, what is that, like statistics or analytics? But like a time like this where companies, small or medium or whatever, can like push through this and like, I don't know, just keep things moving forward. I know I always say that a lot, but like I feel like this is a time if you can make it through some of this tough shit, even back through COVID and, these tough times, I think you'll have that much more advantage, compared to other companies or, I don't know, do you know what I'm saying? Like smaller businesses. Yeah. I think if you can stick through it.
Yeah.
When, hopefully when they cut those unemployment checks, people go, oh shit, I'm going to need to get a job. Or, shit just starts to come back and blossom. I feel like,
well, what's a good point is all the foreclosures that were like basically blocked or pushed back, you didn't have to pay your mortgage for like a year and a half. All that ended today. So
a lot of people going homeless.
Yeah. So they tried to basically like extend it again, but basically the landlords were like in the courts like saying like, hey, we got to get paid too.
Well, yeah, no, they got bills and shit too.
So they won out, I believe. So like starting today.
If anything, and I don't, obviously I'm not renting yet, but like even before I rented or even thought about doing this, I always think the landlord, for the most part, some situations probably not, but should have complete rights to like get paid, kick out, evict people. Yeah. And supposedly in the state of Virginia, it's fucking tough to like, if you'd have to go like through court and they can live in the house still unpaid, to kick somebody, to actually evict somebody, you have to go through a process, months and months of a process to even like get somebody out that hasn't paid for like a year.
Yeah.
The resident or the rentor has the upper hand in most states compared to the landlord. The person that actually owns the property, you just can't go in and kick them out. You have to give them like a 5-day notice, and then you have to take them to court, and then you have to get like appeals and this and that. Next thing you know, it could be dragged out, and you're still no money. They're living rent-free. You just burn the motherfucker down.
You ever think about just making Piscataway Creek a haunted house like the one in Ashland?
Might do it. if ain't shit going on
you can
with
just
it,
keep it dilapidated.
Yeah,
that adds to
$10 a head. Come through.
Yeah,
it'll be me.
I'll get the electric chainsaw,
but
it'll just be.
It'll be me in the trunks running around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Limping from there.
Yeah.
It scarred me.
Damn.
Well, we can crack in.
Yeah, let's get some cards going.
Fuck, I forgot we even had
this is bad, people. It's the card game you shouldn't be playing because it's sometimes a little raunchy. So it's all fun, all funsies.
Yeah. Who leaves the smallest tips at restaurants?
Probably Brock.
Y'all think
What about when you go to pick something up?
What do you mean, like
a pizza?
Oh, I never do a tip on that.
No, zero.
What about going through a line like a Chipotle?
Never.
$0, yeah.
You've done
Do you
it.
tip?
You're asking about it.
Well,
you've done
like
it.
let's say like shindigs. Sometimes if they flip
Shindigs.
the little iPad over to you and it says like optional like 15,
0 every
20%.
time.
I usually leave
What's
20%.
shindigs?
The dessert
20%
place.
just for them to cut you a slice? I always feel like if it's something that took, basically you didn't even like make it, you basically are just scooping it into the bowl, you're already getting paid for that.
Yeah, that's true.
I only will tip if I receive service at a restaurant by a waiter.
And it's tough to say what service is because, some people might say, oh, that was my service, me scooping that shit. But, if you're expected, it's a difference between expected service and, going out of your way service or, creating an experience service.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that's when, waiters and waitresses come into play and shit like that because you're being, serviced with an experience. I don't know.
I tip pretty well with my tattoo. That's a service.
Yeah. What about tipping at a buffet?
Fuck no.
Well, I'm I mean, unless you're my own water.
Yeah, I was about to say, unless somebody's bringing me shit, but most buffets I've been to, you usually have to get your own shit, I feel like. Yeah. I think. Maybe. But yeah, I would still probably put on Brock, not tipping. Or not
I never
tipping.
go under 15%.
He'd say,
what do you, Austin? 15, 20?
I do 20.
I do 20.
And it's tough, though, because sometimes I'm like, oh, fuck,
I'll
20.
go 20 if I got good service. But if all you did was take my order and bring me, water, you at least got to, give a little pizzazz, have a little personality, go out of your way.
Oh, there's times
but
where
if
I've
tipped. Hi, what would you like?
Yeah, there's times where I've tipped less than 20 if you're asking, for sure. There's times where I've left no tip.
Nice.
Yeah. Not many, but I'm just like, yo, fuck that place or fuck that person.
Yeah. One time when I was maybe 16, I had gotten a gift card to Cracker Barrel, and I went with my brother one night because we were home alone, and I was like, oh, well, it's just right up the road in Ashland. So we get there. I think they close at 9. We get there at 8:35, and we basically get our food, and I had a gift card. And so we go to pay, and between both of our meal, I had 20 cents left on the gift card.
And no cash.
And no cash. So that became the tip. I felt so bad.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I did that one time at a pizza place. Me and my friend, after we ate, we realized we only had 80 cents. And we're like, oh, fuck. And we're the only ones in there. So we basically just kind of left the change. And we're like, okay, we'll leave the tip on the table. We just booked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's not like you wanted to do that. It's just the way the cards were played,
Exactly. Win some, lose some. Maybe I might leave her $1,000 tip
next.
now.
Hey, I'm back.
Remember that? Here's a little interest. She's not a rising star anymore. Most likely to keep a lost wallet full of cash, even though the person's ID is inside.
Oof.
I've found wallets and returned them. So,
good Samaritan.
No finder's fee?
No. Someone pulled a finder's fee on me at Wegmans one time.
Well, if I'm getting a finder's fee, your wallet's not coming back. I'm not going to be like, oh, here's your wallet.
Yeah.
And you know that I probably took the money. Yeah. There's just the wallet's going in the trash.
Depending on how much money is in there, I'd consider where I'm at. If I'm at the gym, I'm not going to fuck over a member. But if I'm on a vacation and I find a wallet there,
it does
$300 in there.
Because here's the thing.
I always think about what's that person's experience going to be when they find their wallet. And they're
100%.
Like, oh my God. Yeah.
I've
been there.
Let's say we're in Florida. We don't live in Florida, obviously. We're here in Virginia. We're at Florida at Disneyland. You find a wallet on the street somewhere, and it's like, well, what are the chances of me finding this person? They're from Louisiana, and they're probably somewhere. And it's like, well, I could give this to a management or staff person, but they're going to take the cash. So it's like,
yeah,
is it them
Gray
or me?
Area.
Is it going to be them that takes the cash or me?
That happened to me too at AmFam. I worked there. Big, full, 64-ounce Yeti, brand new, nice one was left on a bike. And I put that in the lost and found. It was gone within a few hours.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck. I should have taken that.
Because, I hate to say it, but that's the way. That's kind of. But I will say,
eat or be eaten.
As I've gotten older and pay my own bills and work for my money, I do have a heartfelt thing. I haven't done it recently. When I was a kid, I've definitely taken money and just not told anybody. But I would feel that kick in the balls. It's like, damn, I'm sure that dude probably worked hard for this, or he's got a family.
You never know how much they need it.
It's like, fuck, man. Yeah. It would be nice, but I'd probably turn it back in.
In my last apartment, really before that, I never really knew that they would switch your mail sometimes with neighbors.
Yeah.
They'd give your neighbor your mail. And so a lot of times I'd bring all my mail up from the mailbox and just start opening stuff. And I started to notice sometimes my next door neighbor was like a pastor, retired pastor or something like that. And a lot of people would send him like well-wishing cards, like a little money here and there. And I felt bad because the first time I ever noticed that his mail was in my mailbox, I opened it and I was like, oh, this is actually for someone else. But I was like, there's a gift card in here. And but it was for Shoney's. And I was like, oh, I don't like Shoney's. So I knocked on his door and gave it back. But
you're lucky, buddy.
I did think about
Take
it.
this shit back.
I know.
Shoney's bear. Least likely to perform mouth-to-mouth resuscitation on a homeless person in need. Definitely Brock. Probably me, though.
I think all of us would second guess it.
Yeah.
If they're like dirty as shit.
That's what I'm saying, like hobo cheese.
In that mouth.
I'm going to pump their chest, but I'm going to say, hey, we need to call 911.
Yeah, we're going to need a ventilator.
Yeah, I call the chest. That's chest.
I'll get a little smelling.
Yeah. Just smack the shit out of them.
All right, who would be the worst teammate on The Amazing Race? What is that?
That is like a big race. Basically, you have a partner, and it's almost like, let's say it was Austin and I. We might have to fly to, Alaska and do a sled this distance, and then fly to Dubai and drive this distance or something like that. Go to the Grand Canyon and hike through here. It's like it used to be an old show, I think,
Austin
that like
would
you
be
do
the
these
worst,
challenges.
He'd probably like tear something or be too tight.
I could see that, or get a blood clot or some
Yeah.
shit. I'd have to wear my socks, my compression socks for all that traveling.
Yeah.
And pack my blood thinners.
Yeah.
Fuck. God, man, I
That's
suck.
true.
Oh, yeah.
And we know too sometimes on road trips how easily he falls asleep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fall asleep and I'd take a piss about 27 times. I take a piss now.
I gotta take a piss now.
Least likely to be remembered at a party.
Definitely me. I just fucking get there and I'm like,
Brock
I
left?
wanna leave
Yeah.
immediately. Yeah.
Are Brock's here?
Yeah. I'm not the life of the party. I'm the antithesis of that.
Yeah. I guess Brock. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
But hopefully you
We'll
get
leave
your
it at
food before you get out.
Yeah.
Oh, you know he
I'll
would.
get fed.
He'll take
Yeah,
his doggy
yeah.
bag home. Yeah, I'm going to pack
Yeah.
this up too.
Yeah. Oh, leftovers? Yeah.
Yeah, let's take that. Yeah, I'm about to
Who's
hit
that guy?
If I decided to rob a bank, who's the last person I'd choose to help me? Hold on. I'm trying to think of
Both have
skills.
our attributes.
Trying to think of like pros and cons. Brock, I'm gonna have to say you. Reason being is because I don't think you'd be in on it, all in, like knowing
I'd
that
be double agent.
you'd call him, you'd call me in. Hey, I can give you. I heard there's $1,000 reward for turning the guy in.
Sorry, buddy.
Hey, Austin, run down the street real quick. I'm gonna make a phone
I'd
call.
say, all right, here, you give me the bags of money. I'll meet you at the check spot, and then over there. He should have been here by now. Whoop, whoop,
And the
whoop.
reason
Here
I
the
say
cops come.
I'd probably choose Griffin for it is because I feel like we could go and disappear, and you'd be okay with disappearing.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
I can
Woods.
change my look.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
he'd shave his head, grow a beard, and then like live in Montana. You'd be like, who the hell is that guy?
Yeah, I know. Develop a limp, change your
Yeah.
accent. People wonder where this like millionaire popped up from. I'll be like Tommy Wiseau.
Tommy Wiseau, yeah.
Unknown origin. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a good one. We
Yeah.
went long today. Hour
That was
and a
good.
half.
Damn,
We had to make up
12:47.
for it.
Shit. That was a good one, y'all. I'm glad we missed last week, so I'm hoping y'all enjoyed this one. Make sure you follow us all in the description below, all of our social medias. Maybe we'll start dropping some question boxes here soon.
Maybe
We'll get
we'll
back
get
to this.
canceled.
Maybe we will. Let us know what your thoughts are about
That's when you
this
know you're big.
episode in the comments below. And let us know who you thought these cards might have went to. Anyways, guys, we'll see y'all next week on the All or Nothing show. Until next time, we're out.